Hey guys, welcome to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show on the stream.tv. I'm your host, Anastasia Washington, and with me are my fellow agents, Agent CuriousJOI.
Hello.
Agent Bryan of Good Nerd, Bad Nerd.
Hey, nerds.
And we're here to chat about the Season 3 opening of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think that the topic on everybody's mind is, who is this mystery woman? We did find out a lot about her. We have a lot of speculation. Let's just dive right into it. So, mystery woman, CIA, NASA, what else did she have on there?
Pretty much every government organization,
she was
DARPA,
collecting.
a lot of stuff.
And I think what we're thinking is,
Well, there's a couple
Sword.
ideas. They called it the ATCU. The most obvious option from the comics would be Sword,
right.
because that's a S.H.I.E.L.D. version of space. It's the space S.H.I.E.L.D.
And by the way, if you guys have any thoughts or any ideas, be sure to go on the YouTube and start chatting, or use our hashtag AOSAS, and join the conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sword is definitely something that we're definitely thinking about. What do you think they want with the new humans?
Well, I think like any government conspiracy, they want to lock them up and hide them to keep the public safe. Isn't that the line?
I believe so, right?
That is true, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like
there's something
Yeah,
more diabolical.
I have a feeling that, I don't know why it just popped in my head, that she'll eventually be against what the president just said, and it's just like, I have a feeling that her and Coulson had this thing going on where it was,
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
I think we're gonna probably team up, maybe. I don't know.
I should point out there is a parallel between in some of the animated Marvel shows. There was the MCU, which was specifically geared towards mutants, and since the Inhumans are the cinematic universe's version of mutants, I think that's where you get the name the ATCU as opposed to the MCU.
We are also introduced to a new Inhuman. I know that we were all speculating from the teaser that it was going to be Dante, but we got Joey.
It's
Wish it was Dante. I was like, it's gonna be Dante. She's like, no, sorry, Joey. She got no. I was like, oh.
Joey, Jerry.
he can still be Dante. They've already said he can't
I'm
have his old
hoping.
life. He can't have his
That
old
is
life.
true.
That is
So
true.
what do secret agents do when you can't have your old life? They get
rename.
aliases.
But I feel like, fresh in my mind reading Dante's storyline, I feel like he has to change his name again anyway, so I think we're going to skip the Dante and go straight to the Inferno.
Yeah, and Joey's powers are liquefied, and Dante is more like pyro.
I think there's changes in a lot of the different characters,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think part of that, though, could just be visual special effects budget. It's going to be really hard every week to have a guy on fire.
Listen, give them more of a budget so we can see Dante in action, you guys. So we find out he's also a gay Inhuman, which I am like, woo, we got a gay Inhuman, which is amazing. And also we're finding out that the spread of vitamin contamination is a lot bigger than we thought.
A lot,
Yes.
a lot of people are taking their vitamins.
Yeah,
But
who would have thought?
They did want to address that, and that's why they said, oh, it's in the entire ecosystem, because I think they realized, yeah.
How much can you be like, did you take the fish oil? Did you take the fish oil? No, I had Flintstones, I swear. I mean, well, how do you feel about his reaction on the show? Like, he was pretty...
Joey?
I thought I probably would have reacted the same thing if someone was coming up to me and be like, "You're an Inhuman." It's like,
That's racist.
That would be my reaction. That's racist. But
yeah, it's like, is it just me? Like, okay, like, is that my nickname going on right now? Like,
He did take it remarkably well, considering, but he did just destroy a whole town, so.
yeah,
He probably was like, I think I have a cold or something.
yeah, serious
Caught the flu.
grieving steps, denial, and then he just got really pissed, and I was like, okay, I can't have my old life back. And then towards the end, he was like, all right, fine. I hit something before, and it was so much better when I came out, and then it's like, I'll do it again. She's like, nope, not that easy, but I mean, yeah.
well, how do you guys think that you would react if you were told that you're an Inhuman? Be sure to live tweet us at #AOSAS or live chat with us on YouTube. We're listening. We're watching in. So there's been a lot of changes on the team.
Yes.
The team is a little grumpy. The team's having some stuff.
They're moody, yeah.
They're moody. I mean, Coulson's got his grumpy cat mug.
Oh my gosh, I need that mug
and
so
he's
bad.
got the axe. That game.
I mean, he is
Yes.
literally wearing his emotions on his sleeve with that cup. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
And he's
I'm
very
upset.
sentimental about everything because, as you said, the axe was hanging on the wall,
Which is
and then you go into the lab, and then it's like his hand. It's like, wow, just want you guys to know, I lost my hand, and he says it in the episode too. He's like, losing hands here, like I have nothing. So
He was getting deep. He was literal, but there was metaphors.
yeah,
I lost my right hand, but I also lost my right hand woman, man.
yeah.
Me. Yeah.
She was like, I'm going on
She's-
vacation
she's-
and
she's
never
gone.
coming back.
Must be a really good vacation.
I know. Maybe she went to Tahiti.
Like the real
Uh-oh.
Tahiti or that
Yeah, the real
place
one.
that got blown up?
Oh, I was like, Tahiti never will be the same for me ever again. We also have Bobby not quite recovered and working in the lab and kind of super covering for Fitz.
Yeah, it's gone rogue in a sense. But
Fitz is, I mean, I've always been a Fitz fan, as we know. But Fitz has gone like super manly James Bondish yumminess.
yeah,
You got to look at it from his perspective. He finally works up the nerve to talk to Gemma, and then she's gone, and he's like, no.
I want that date.
It took me,
He
what,
really likes
20
those sandwiches.
It was like 20 years to get the nerve to go talk to her, and then she's swallowed by a rock.
Yeah, but
Just
it's
my
like
luck.
such a 360, but in a good way, because all of season 2, because of what Ward did in season 1, he was stuttering, he couldn't get his thoughts out, and now he's just like, I'm getting Gemma back. And it's like, that's awesome. It's just like confidence up the yin.
Yeah,
and
and
Easy,
it just does it for me, you guys. It works. It works.
His plan was great up until execution and the getaway.
I think he did okay. He did pretty good.
He was
got out.
relying on the kindness of a stranger who knew the place he was going into was a death trap, and still
But did he make it out?
he did.
Did he make it out?
It was the
Yeah. So my man's got this. My man's got this. Don't,
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever,
You know. Bobby, Mac, and Daisy are now field agents
Yeah, with Hunter.
together.
Well, Hunter was already, yeah.
Hunter's a little complicated. Hunter is not talking to Bobby,
Not
but is talking to Bobby.
yeah. Whatever could you mean? No, that
Sexual relations.
that was a weird thing because it's like they're fighting, they're upset, but they're not, and then it's like, hey, let's get married.
That's a natural progression in my relationship. That
That's
explains.
yeah.
All right, next
up. We also have a lot of team problems. Yes, definitely we have Fitz in Morocco being a man. We have Mac still being a, how is it that you put it? A species?
Oh,
Speciesist.
Speciesist.
Yes, he's very
Speciesist.
anti. He did
He-
not want to go
Speciesist.
and just get the help of Lincoln. He was just like,
But do you think it's because Lincoln is an Inhuman, or do you think it's because Lincoln is unpredictable?
well, it could be unpredictable, but
He made it pretty clear.
Yeah, he made it pretty clear. He's like, I want my own life. I want to just live my life helping people because, with his powers, he can spark plug these people alive
No,
to
but I
life.
think Mac made
That
it
is true.
pretty clear though that he does not care for aliens in his world.
Yeah.
Hence this speciesist.
Well, it's kind of hard when your partner
Xenoist? What would you
is-
people? What would you guys call that? Xenophobe? Well, that is xenophobe.
That sounds
Inhumanist.
that sounds easier to say.
Xenophobe? Well, xeno means
Xenophobe.
alien.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, that's great. So yeah, Hunter's not talking to Bobby, but they're doing it, and the reason why there's a little bit of a riff is because Hunter is on the hunt for someone, which I'm assuming is Ward.
I would assume so too.
Based on the
Based on the
conversation he's having with
conversation,
Coulson, it's definitely
Yeah,
Ward.
it's definitely
Yeah.
Ward.
He's tracking down the Hydra remnants.
And Hydra looks like it's coming back.
It totally is, in some form.
Calm down with the Hail Hydra.
Hashtag Ward Warriors.
Jeez,
Hashtag
is this whole thing gonna be a Ward?
Hashtag I stand with Ward. Yeah.
No.
Ward Warriors.
No. No, I'm not okay with any of this. So we find out a little bit more about our mystery gal. Her name's Rosalind, and yes, we do think that she's in some kind of form of sword or something that we're gonna do a spinoff of Sword.
Yeah.
Which I remember when you were watching it, you said hashtag I don't approve of me saying, Rosalind, she's all about that space.
Yeah, no, that joke is not wasn't funny then. It's not funny now.
What about now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, still not funny. Another thing that I kind of was confused about, and maybe other people are as well, that Lincoln's just out in the world doing what he can, and then we have Joey, who has no choice in the matter. I feel that's kind of unfair and weird.
It is unfair, but as Daisy said, Daisy now, everyone has to get used to that.
Daisy, not Skye. Daisy.
She said that he's not allowed to leave until he gets control of his powers, and he's still kind of new. And Lincoln basically trained her. Well, not basically, he did train her to control her powers. So
it was more than that though.
Yeah.
Joey had been seen. He had been on the news. People were describing him. Lincoln, nobody knew he was Inhuman, so he could live that normal life. It's with Jerry, he literally tied it back to living in the closet, not coming out.
Yeah.
And so Lincoln hadn't come out as an Inhuman, but Jerry, he had been forced out, and so his life was completely different.
And only the people that know of Inhumans knows that, because at the end, Roz looked at his picture. He's like, "Oh, that is another one that I missed out on," because he's not like on the radar as everyone else.
That's very true, but I still feel like he is kind of, how do I put it? He's somebody that needs to be watched.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last of Lincoln. I think it's very possible that Lash will be specifically hunting him, and that eventually he'll make a choice, because I think the bad guy is going to present the option and explain why he's hunting him down.
Yeah. What a good segue. Let's talk about Lash. I know there was a lot of people that were like waiting for Lash, waiting to see Lash. I know there's a lot of disappointment in how he looks, but there has been some upgraded powers.
Yes.
And it seems like we're doing the same storyline where he's killing people that are not worthy. Inhumans not worthy.
Inhumans not worthy.
I mean, how are you feeling about Lash? What do you think about his look? And
It's very, as we all discussed, it's very Whedon-like. He looks like Angel from Buffy.
Yeah.
But
With
I mean,
porcupine hair.
I imagine him being a little bit different, but he does have that TV makeup look to him. As we didn't have much for me to say, like, oh, this is how I feel about Lash. It threw me off because of the whole, we know his powers, that when he like drew the hole in the wall and just kept going, it was like, wait a minute. But
he's gotten
it's very interesting because they did kind of hint of his initial powers with his energy absorbing.
Yeah, I agree.
When Daisy and Lincoln were pulling all their powers out, he was like, all right, I got this. And walking towards it, and then you can tell that
I think
Daisy,
Lincoln was definitely feeding him.
Yeah, for sure.
So initially, Skye was able to knock him back, but then on their second round, Lincoln was definitely feeding off of Lincoln's
He was
power.
having his pina colada. He was doing good. And now we also see Gemma. She is not on Lash's planet, but I know our co-host is not letting us know his speculation.
No, it's a secret.
But you should tell us, where do you think Gemma is?
I think there's two really strong possibilities for where she is. The first is the moon of Titan. This is a key landmark in the Marvel Universe, specifically as it relates to Thanos, because that's where he's from. And we know
Thanos tie-in.
We know he's going to be big in the future MCU. But another option, and this ties in with the history of the Inhumans, is they had a colony on, I can't remember if it was a moon of Uranus or actually the planet. But that was where the Eternals were from, and where the Inhumans originally kind of became an offshoot of, with all that Kree genetic manipulation stuff. So it's possible that it transported her there, since we do know she was on another planet that had moons, or was in close proximity to moons, things like that.
And there's something on that planet with her. She's not running from nothing.
She's very scared.
Something that can, I think, fairly obviously smells and hunts by scent of blood, hence the mud on the forehead.
Right, absolutely. So if you have any ideas or speculations about where Gemma is and how we can bring her back to her Fitz.
Oh, that was so sad.
That whole scene, I was just like, don't cry. But
She cried.
She did.
It did.
Totally.
Whatever. But if you have any speculations, be sure to be in our YouTube chat room or use a hashtag AOSAS to let us know what you're thinking. And we'll be right back with your fan questions, you guys.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking love it.
Oh my God.
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way in the right way.
but you were like, well, we want to know what's gonna happen.
That was killed.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world. and we
Another
appreciate
beautiful
you so
summer
much.
at the stream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
S.H.I.E.L.D. after show on the stream.tv. This is a great time for you to go and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss a second of me ranting about Fitz and Ward and all that. So subscribe now. But we're back with some of your fan questions. The first blog that I really want to shout out to is Insightful Panda. They did an amazing analysis of this next season and predictions and stuff like that. So you're going to want to check that out. The second one is Whimsy Writer. 9 Reasons Season 3 is going to be awesome. We could not agree with you more. So be sure to check that one out as well. But now let's get to the Twitter. We got some good Twitter stuff happening.
We have a few tweets from you guys. We have one that says that there is an Avengers reference, so it's time to take a drink.
Drink up.
Drink up. And there were several Avengers references. There
Absolutely.
were
Some Ant-Man references.
Yeah, there was an Ant-Man reference because that's when Phil was giving that speech about Gemma. You're like, oh, you thought with the PIM technology incident. We're like, yes, Ant-Man.
Take a drink.
And there were several Age of Ultron
Of lemonade.
references, and then the first Avenger references too. They're like New York, Sokovia, and so that's always cool. So
And there was an Iron Man 3 reference.
yes,
President Ellis
yeah, who's
making
back?
his speech.
He's back, you guys.
And then we have one from Lawrence, who said, though he asked what S.H.I.E.L.D. is, he thought it was known because of the events on the Avengers and Age of Ultron. You know, sometimes people just don't watch the news sometimes.
This is true.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to remind the public what's going on. Maybe
Yeah.
make it go viral somehow.
Well, now it's pretty viral.
hashtag S.H.I.E.L.D. is back.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. is
back.
back.
Yeah, handy
And
hashtags.
he also had another comment saying, can we see the Punisher, Miss Marvel, Jessica Jones, and others making an appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I would love that. I foresee that not happening.
Yes.
I foresee Jessica Jones and Daredevil, crossing each other on Netflix since they're on the same network and there's
Yeah.
no. That would be amazing. But yeah, I don't foresee that happening. But we have gotten some cinematic universe on S.H.I.E.L.D. So.
Yeah, it'll be nice to try and get some Jessica Jones and Luke Cage in there since they are heroes for hire.
Hey.
Right.
But who knows?
What are people saying in the chat?
People are upset about the look of Lash at the moment, but one thing, a lot of people are commenting basically on Jerry, and they are like, I would love to have superpowers. So we've got Martin Savech. It's like, I would love it, depending on the superpowers.
That is very true. You don't,
I don't
be
wanna
careful
melt
what you
things.
wish for.
And I'm gonna botch what this is, but I think it's supposed to be Hero Fitz, H-R-O-O Fitz.
Fitz?
I would jump up and down, maybe not, depending on my power, and be super happy because I had met Daisy Johnson.
Aww.
Think someone's got a crush.
It's okay. I cried today, you guys.
I love her new confidence. And she's just everyone's having
amazing.
confidence now. It's like the confidence episode.
It really is.
Yeah.
Everybody's stepping up. We're even seeing more from one of my least favorite characters, Mac. And we got no Ward this time.
Until next.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So let's give some shout outs on Twitter at Lawrence Brenner, at Verfletched, at Whimsy Writer, and at Insightful Panda. Shout out to you guys for being active on hashtag AOSAS. And go ahead and subscribe on the stream.tv so that you don't miss a moment of Agents of the S.H.I.E.L.D. after show. And be sure to use that hashtag all week long. We're listening, hashtag AOSAS. Bye, you guys. That's a great show.
Bye.